everybody, I'm the Pigglesworth, and welcome back to AlphaCraft. Starting out here in the mall, in an upper area we've not been at before. I think this is the third level. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yep, and it's after Christmas. The giant Christmas tree was taken down. Oh my gosh, can you imagine that many Christmas decorations having to be set up and put down? That is a lot of work. Thank you, JJ and Wild, for making that so special. But I do not envy you for having to set up and put down so much Christmas decorations. But I thought it would be cool to start here at night. That's weird. That must be an area that's not loaded. Let's do F3A, reload chunks. I guess we're just far enough away it's not loading. I think that's supposed to be the Wi-Fi antenna or something like that. But we're up here on the second floor. I wanted to show off this build. We've got the shop with all the cool heads. These are all so cool, but I'm not quite certain what I would use them for yet. I don't feel like my base has developed enough to use these, so I'm going to kind of wait off on that. But this right here, this is so cool. The AlphaCraft Ryokan, I think that's how you say it. Now, what really impresses me is these banners. These banners are insane. Like, I had no idea you could do this kind of stuff with banners. Like, it literally looks like, I don't know if you've ever seen, like, I really, really like Kung Fu movies. I've been a big Kung Fu movie fanatic most of my life, all kinds of Kung Fu movies. And in practicing temples that they'll have, or not practicing temples, but like in temples where they'll have for holy sites, maybe burning incense and stuff, or for their dojos, or I think that's Japanese. But in the different areas where they would use to practice, they will have these banners set up, and it will have their foreign language, whatever they're using, whether it be Chinese or Japanese for the majority of the movies I've watched. They have like their precepts, their rules, sayings, things like that are written on banners. These seriously look like those banners. It's just crazy. I never knew you could do this kind of stuff with banners. One of these days, I'm probably going to have somebody sit me down and give me a tutorial on banners. But this was built by Drama Smith, so, I don't have thumbs, but I do have a carrot. So, carrots up. Wait, put it in this hand. There we go. Carrots up, Drama, for building that. That is so cool. Love that. Amazing build. It is night. Let's go ahead and take a quick nap. Now, here's the thing. I have seen that if you have your bed surrounded by half slabs, if you die, it says your bed was obstructed, and it will not let you spawn. It will spawn you back at spawn chunks at the central point, which technically would be, I think, right underneath this building. You know what? We could test this theory out. Let's try something real quick. We might be getting a piggy head out of this. Don't be so pig-headed, piggy. Oh yeah, and this alpha maps, 1 free for everyone. Please take one. 988. So apparently, yikes, Spiderweb. Apparently, Spiderweb tried to make this 987 times, and that was the 908. No, I know that's not what that is. I know. I just kid. Look at that. We got our own alpha map, AlphaCraft map. We can set that up somewhere. I'll have to figure out somewhere to set that up. We might have to make an art gallery or something for that. But this week's special at the Lumbering Pig, we have got barrels and we've got chests. Now, the cool thing as shop owner, I can go ahead and grab some items. So I'm going to grab a chest real quick. So we're going to go and place all of our belongings in the chest, so that I don't have to worry about this, the only thing we're going to lose is our head. Don't lose your head, piggy. So let's see here. You know what? Let's do this. I'm going to take myself an ender pearl, and we're going to test this theory out. And I'm going to try and aim for the chest so that if I do die and drop my head, the head will be right there where the chest is. It'll be so easy to get to. So the first question is, can I aim properly and get all the way up there? And please tell me they lit that area. That works. So do we respawn where the bed is? We do. That's awesome. Maybe they changed that in 1.14 Minecraft. I know when I was playing on the decidedly vanilla server, I had a bed set up like that with half slabs around it, and every time I would die, I would get spawned back at Spawn Central because it said my bed was obstructed, but that's cool. So we tested out a theory, and look, I just lost 52 levels, which is no big deal because I can get those back so fast from the ender. So let's go ahead and let's just get the axe. That'll be so much quicker to grab all that stuff from there. Okay, I got all that. And you, sir, we're going to go ahead and put that chest right back. Make sure that sells. I know Frilioth is looking for chests for sale. So we've got some chests, and I went ahead and did barrels as well. I got to thinking about it. What are the different items that are considered containers in Minecraft for storage? Now, shulker boxes are, but they're not made of wood, so that's why we don't have shulker boxes for sale. But I went ahead and put chests and barrels. I'm on the fence about compost bins. Tell me down in the comments section below, do you think compost bins belong with this group? Because this is storage, and technically you could call compost bin a storage, although it is kind of more of a conversion item. But I digress. We need to get on with today's project, because today's project actually is going to be sort of a support for the lumbering pig. You see, every week we change what we're going to sell at the lumbering pig for the specials. The problem is sometimes the things don't sell, or I overstock. And we need to have some kind of a support area. We need a warehouse that's going to hold all of the specialty items when we're not selling them. See, right now the base is turning into a pigsty, and look, somebody decided to put my head right there. I don't know who did that, but they also call me Pigglesworth. I don't know what that's about. I'm going to leave it for now. It cracked me up. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but we'll go with it. Actually, carrots need to be in the offhand so that we can be eating said carrots. But yeah, we need to get an area set up that is going to hold all of these items when they're not in the store, when we're not selling them. Go ahead and take a look. I've done a little bit more work off camera. Now, it's not a whole lot, but I've done a little bit of work in here. Since we last ran through here, I added a few more details. Now, I saw a creeper in the base one time when I logged on. I don't know if that creeper snuck in from somewhere and was wandering around, or if it spawned somewhere that I thought was supposed to be spawn-proof. See, I thought plants were supposed to be spawn-proof. I thought so. But I saw a creeper wandering around right here. Now, it's possible the creeper started over there and made its way over here. But I'm going to show you this. So I went ahead and put these support beams in. I put one, I think that one was right there, but I put this one right here, which I'm loving because it's huge, it's monstrous. You can get a really good sense of the scope, scale, and size of the area. It still kind of fits naturally in. You know, you can see it's not like this perfect even. It gets cut off back here and right there, but you can see like it is a hefty, big support. While you get glimpses of it down in here, but it's kind of dark, right in here you get this really good look at what a real support in this area is supposed to look like. I love it. And I went ahead and put some support beams over there. That one's kind of a larger support beam. And I went ahead and put some more lighting in here just because it was so dark. And I figured if the lighting looks good in there, we'll just go ahead and expand it. Now what I did from there are these plants. And the logic behind these plants is that wherever there's light sources, stuff would be trying to grow. Now it wouldn't always get to grow well because no rain gets in here, so this is basically going to be plants that can survive off moisture in the air or condensate, like when there's humidity, when there's moisture in the air, and cold air makes the surface of this stone cold, and the warm, humid air touches it, it would drip off. It would be a really, really cool effect. This was an effect that was suggested by a viewer that we used down there in that little area where there's a breach in the wall. Maybe wherever we've got plants, I need to go through and put a water source above the blocks so that water will drip through every once in a while. Like not here, but right here, right above this spot. We get some dripping water. And so as you're coming by and you see the grass, you're like, That's how that's getting fed. It's got a little bit of water dripping. Oh man, okay. Yep, I'll have to add that and see if I can get that done in this episode. But that's the logic behind this. We've got spots where maybe the heat from the fire the plants was trying to grow, and the heat from the fires kind of dried it out, or for some reason that heat is heating up that area, and so it's not getting as much condensate. We've not had enough cold weather with humid air, not the right conditions to keep the grass fed. So that's why some of it's dead and some of it's living. But I love it. It's adding just a little bit more detail, a little bit more color. Like I said, we're going to build in layers. And as we add layers upon layers, you get more detail and really cool looking stuff. But today what I want to do is I want to add a structure. We're actually going to start adding buildings and some structure, some use to this area, because look, we got junk here. We got junk here. Junk here. Look at that. That's all stuff that's been sold at the Lumbering Pig. Junk here, junk here, junk here, junk everywhere. And while that makes Piggy at home, it makes for really, really hard work when it comes to finding stuff. So we need to start organizing things. So what I want to do is I want to build a structure that's going to let us support the Lumbering Pig. And I've been trying to figure out where would be a good place for it. I think right here, right in this spot is where I want to build it. Now, here's the logic. We're all about pre-planning. We're not pre-planning so much in this world because I'm letting things kind of happen. But pre-planning in the sense that when you first walk in here and you get a look at the base, you get this view, okay? And all the stuff we can see here is your first impression of the grandioseness of the area, and then this little boardwalk area, and you kind of get a chance to look out like that. So what I don't want to do is I don't want to build something that's going to completely obliterate this view. I want you to be able to see about from here to about right there. I want you to be able to see beyond whatever gets built up right in here. Now, I don't know if that's going to fully happen, because I know what I want to put right in this area, and I don't want to block that view, but I'm not quite certain how that's all going to work. So what I'm thinking about doing is, if we put a structure about in here, it's not going to block your initial view when you walk in. It's also going to be close enough to the wood farm that it would make sense that it is a support for the Lumbering Pig. So what I've done is I ran over to the mining desert and I got a bunch of sand. I gathered up all the gravel that I found. I've got some cactus. I need to get some more cactus. But I'm also going to need to make a whole bunch of stripped logs from oak and get some more items. And then we can start building. And we're going to start building right here in the spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get, there's more andesite down there. I'm a bad pig. I need to get all that andesite up out of there before we build. Oop! Before we start building, I need to get rid of that, or not get rid of it, but gather it up. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start gathering up materials and all kinds of great stuff, get everything ready to go, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Trying to add a structure right here, and how it's just going to add more detail, and it's actually going to be purposeful. It's going to have function. It'll have a reason for being. Okay? So y'all just hold tight. I'm going to gather up all that stuff. I'm going to get that andesite like a good pig, and then we'll meet back here, and we'll start building today's project. I know, after I stop talking, I'm supposed to fade out, but I just wanted to stop and take a look. Alright, I have got myself some supplies gathered up and ready to go, and I also cleared out some more area, because at first I was going to build this with a walkway going this way and then the structure over here, and I got to thinking about it. You know what? To give a more maximum effect of being able to see this area, let's build this building over towards the left instead of the right. That would seem to make a little more sense. And look, all the andesite was gathered. We'll not let that go to waste. We're going to need andesite like crazy, so might as well go ahead and start gathering it like we should. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to make a 4-block wide path that's going to go to this structure. I'm thinking that I want all of the structures to not be right up against the wall, but maybe some of them kind of built a little bit off and out away from the wall, just for variation. Also, building structures partially attached to this will destroy some of that look, but also building away from it will leave some of the wall behind, so we'll get some really cool different effects going on. But I want the pathway to be four blocks wide, but I'm not so certain I want it to line up perfectly with this path, because see, this path curves. So it's going to curve over here, and I don't really want it to go straight that way. What I think I want to do, because of the way this path curves, I think I want to build it one block to the right. So even when we come down here, we're not going to see this straight line. It's going to be slightly askew. And what ends up happening is when you try to avoid perfectly grid-like patterns, it looks more natural. It looks more just how things actually end up being built, instead of the way that, maybe you would like them to be. I know in planned cities you get very much grid patterns, like Washington, D.C. is a planned city. If you look at a map of Washington, D.C., you can see the lines of the roads are all very grid-like. And what's interesting is some of the roads are lettered and some are numbered. You have A Street and First Street, something like that. And I can't remember which is which, but letters would go like east to west, and the numbers go north to south. And so it's really cool how they planned out the city. You can actually figure out which direction a road goes just based off of if it's a letter or number. But we're going to avoid that today. We're going to avoid grid patterns, because maybe this was a natural structure, because it all just looks like stone. There's no real cobblestone being worked in there. And maybe this area was built, and then a little bit later, like how we're doing right now, somebody got the brilliant idea, hey, let's build this building right here. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're just going to start tearing this thing up with impunity. Nothing's going to stop it. Nothing's going to stop us now. So we're just going to do that. And I'm going to go ahead and remove all this stuff, because I know that this walkway is definitely going to be right up against this, so I don't have to worry about am I messing something up or not. Now, what I want to do is I want this to be oak slabbed, but we also want it to, we'll get up top and kind of take a look at it. I want it to visually transition. Yep. Probably should have set up some ladders or some scaffolding. I didn't think about that. We'll come back later and mess with it. But, okay, so let's get this. So see how abrupt that is? What I'm thinking is, if we just kind of randomly bring out into the area a few oak slabs like this, and since we just picked up some spruce slabs, let's go ahead and swap out something like this, and maybe a diagonal. Like, you're also, it can be very tricky doing this. You're trying to avoid the appearance of a pattern. You want it to look just a little random. So there we go. So see, you come through here, and we can see that this is starting to change. That almost seems a little too far out. Let's do this. Let's take out these two. I've only got the one. Let's see. Let's put an oak right there. Rob Peter to pay for spruce. There we go. So that's okay. We may tweak that a little bit as we go, but I'm going to leave that for now. Now, what I want to do is, let's see here. I didn't quite work. I'm looking at my reference image on how I want to do this. I think what I want to do, because I didn't really work out an idea for what a transition between these two would look like. Let's go ahead and do this, which means we're going to go ahead and tear this out as well. Do I have it with me? Nope. Okay, Piggy? Okay, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to build ourselves some stairs, and I will come back later and tear down the concrete. How's that sound? There we go. So let's see here. I want stripped oak logs. We're going to take some spruce gates, some spruce trapdoors, and I have my stone cutter here, which is awesome. That means I don't have to convert this stone to these patterns to get what I want. So let's click that. Ooh, that's noisy. Let's go and get some of those. And I love how you can just leave the interface and all the items go right back into your inventory. That is just, it's such a cool feature. I'm so glad that it's in the game now. So what I want to do, just kind of looking at how this is, you know what? It probably needs to be off one like this. So we're going to do like that. And then I'm going to put a stair here. And we're going to go, let's see, slab, stair, slab. Let me swap over. I've got an image that I'm referencing. And from here, we want a slab like that. And then I need one more like this, a stair. And that looks good. And then from behind, wait a minute. Okay, there we go. We're going to put these right here. Now, I may have to lower some of this ground. We may have it where the elevation is a little bit higher here, and it's going to taper down even lower than where I'm standing right here. But we'll just experiment with it. So what I want to do is I want to put spruce fence gates like that. This is a cool little trick I've seen a few people do. And so what ends up happening is from afar, it looks like you've got this really cool support sitting there. But it's got a different look or detail than like a regular fence post would look just sitting there. So I thought that was a really, really cool little effect to add in there. And then we're going to put spruce trapdoors right here. So we have this continuous awning, but we get different color variations going on. I thought that would be pretty cool to do as well. So from here, let's see here. I want to swap this out. I want to put these half slabs right there. And then, okay, I do have some. Oh, good thing we got some dark oak logs there. So I'm going 1, 2, 3. We're going to do like that. And then I want to put these slabs here. And that slab like that. And like I said, yeah, it does look like I may need to lower the elevation a little bit. Now let's see here. Oh, I'm going to need to get some oak. Let's see here. What do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just do that. I needed some buttons. I didn't even think about making buttons. So let's get that. I know it's about to get dark, but the awesome thing is this area is fairly well lit up, so I think we're going to be okay. So I'm just going to put these buttons here. These buttons are going to do two different things. They are going to add just a little bit more detail, and at the same time, surfaces like this, we don't have to worry about them being lit up because that is going to make it be spawn proof. And then from the inside, what we're going to do is we are going to put green concrete blocks just like that. Now I'm being a little spare with the concrete blocks for right this minute because I don't have a lot. But there we go. So that's our basic idea for how the walls are to be built for this structure. Now there's a lot more detail and stuff that I'm going to want to add. Let's see here. How do we want to do this? How it would go up against that? Would we want to make it? Oh, no. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to put a spruce half slab there. Let's do this. This is what I'm thinking. We'll put that there. We'll do like that. Because see, it's 1, 2, 3, so we would put it like that. So that has a nice transition to it. I think it works. Let's see here. Let's see, how does that look? It doesn't look too bad. Let's run over here and get that rogue piece. And then break this. And then let's see here. Let's do like that and like that. And there we go. So now we've got our transition between the rails that go right here. in this area that goes right here. Now, I'm not too worried about putting fencing and rails and stuff like that on here. You know, I may want to jump down there. That might be a feature. But I'm not too concerned. I'm not so klutzy that I may just run off. So we're just going to run forward like this. So that's kind of like the idea for the structure of the wall that I'm going to build. And we're going to do a few different variations on that. Mostly it's going to be differences between a 3-wide gap and a 5-wide gap. But what I need to do now is I need to start laying this. Oh gosh, I need to not fall into the pit where the andesite was. But I'm going to start extending this out. And like I said, we're going to extend it out. We're going to build it over to the side like this. I'm going to try something. Yes, I am. I'm going to try a time lapse. I figured, you know what, let's throw both into this episode. Let's do a little bit of on-screen building just to kind of explain the methodology, the reasoning, and how it's going to work. And then that way, as I build the rest of this structure in a time lapse, you can watch me do it without having to watch me block for block really slowly do it and just kind of gab on. You'll understand the basic theory behind the build, and then the rest of it will make sense. So yeah, I'm going to cue me up some music. There we go. That sounds nice. I'm going to go ahead and get my camera count, or not camera count, but the replay mod, because we still have it. We haven't left 114 yet, so we still got it. So I'm going to get that thing up and running, and let's get this building built. Way up here was such a nice view. You can see, oh, there's pigs over there. Hey, pigs. A zombie hanging out. I'm going to have to eventually light this area up or make it spawn proof for sure. We'll get to that at a different time, but I wanted to start out up here so we could take a look down there. What's crazy is we're just far enough away you can't see the chests, but look at that. I have went ahead and done some terraforming in there. Look at the water pockets. See the water pockets? Those are going to be important. Let's just jump down there and find out why. Let's see if I can aim. Can we aim for that room right there? Oh, look at that. Nice, it actually worked. Okay, so here's what we've got going on. First thing I did is I went through here and I went ahead and added vegetation. I threw in some dead bushes, some actual growing grass, and some wheat, because wheat to me looks like dead grass. And did you see it? Did you see that drop of water? Let's back off for just a minute. There it went. I don't know if you can see that or not with the algorithm and the way that YouTube does its thing. There we go. That's a little bit better, so you can kind of see that. So what I've done is I've gone through, and you saw those water pockets up there. So everywhere that we've got grass, I've got little drops of water going on. Oh yeah, I even got one right there. Cool. So I got that all set up. So that makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense now. But I went ahead and terraformed. I don't have the buildings put in yet, what stuff is going to go here, but I went ahead and terraformed because I wanted to see what would this area start to look like with actual like ground, the way the ground's gonna appear to be. Now, unfortunately, once I did all this, the building starts to fade a little bit. I felt like it was standing out a whole lot more, but using the stripped oak, there's a whole lot of this, I'm going to call it tan. It's like yellowish brown, for lack of a better color. There's a lot of tan going on. Now, the good thing is it lets the green stick out. It lets the dark oak stick out. I'm hoping as we add vegetation, see, not all this is going to be here. There's going to be other stuff that goes here. So eventually this overwhelming color that you see will start to go away. I do like how we get light still drawing your eye to attention to places. Oh, it's just so cool. Now that's going to have to go. We're going to have to move the farms for sure, but that's okay. We won't get to that in this episode. But what I've got going on over here is I've got this building. We got an open roof concept. There's a reason for that. It will become apparent. Like when I started designing ideas for what my base was going to be for this season, there was a certain design and a certain structure that's going to be the theme of the whole base. So what I wanted to do was come up with a culture or an idea of why and how things would be built in this area. If a civilization started in this area that we're going to be building, what would be the reasoning behind their architecture? Why would they build the way that they would build? And I wanted to do something a little different with my rooftops than what I normally do. And what I thought of was, let's just not do rooftops. Yeah. So what I've got going on in here is we have got storage. I've gone ahead and gotten all the items together of all the different things that I would be selling at the Lumbering Pig that has to do with wood. And I think that's just extra. I don't know that I'll be selling stuff like this because you can convert this stuff. Like I can only sell a stack for a diamond. That's the cheapest. So taking a stack of logs and selling a stack of planks for the same price as a stack of logs gets kind of silly. Stairs, maybe I have to do the math on stairs. Half slabs is another case where it's just not a very good conversion. Some of these other items, or the conversions are a little wonky. So I have to do some of the conversions. Some of these items I'm not going to end up selling, but I decided to go ahead and just start dumping everything that is a product of wood in this area. And then right here in these corners, I've got barrels, which I thought would be nice looking, and at the same time would be functional. Got some ladders in there and some sticks in there. And then we've got this little balcony that we can just kind of look out, or we can also jump up if we want to, jump out, get out of the structure really, really quick, kind of look around, see the area. Then we've got this, got myself a little crafting bench, just in case we need access to it. And this is cool. I love this. It's an open concept, but you can't walk through there. You can't accidentally fall down there, Piggy. You've got to take the stairway down. And I've got this set up right in here, which is just really, really nice. This is just an expansion room so that we can add on more storage as time goes by. But look at this. Look at this. What are you doing, Piggy? Oh, I hear you, bad guy. We'll get everything lit up and then we won't have to hear you anymore. Check this out. Uh-oh. I failed. I'll have to get some more blocks and fill that in. But I've got this little underground tunnel started, and look where it leads. We are now underneath the, that's the snow factory right there. And then this right here is the storage system for all of the, what do you call them? For the tree farm. This is underneath the tree farm. So I've got this really, really cool access point that we can get under here to go to the tree farm. And I think what I'm going to eventually have to do is figure out some way to put, I guess a piston door could go right here or something. I'm not quite certain how that's going to work because I don't have any room to put stuff right there. These walls right here are exposed, so I'm not quite certain how I want to do that yet. Do I want to do some kind of a hidden secret door right there or something? I don't know, but I figured I would just show that. That's going to be a really cool way to quickly access all the underground, the redstone, and all that stuff that's going on. But that is nice. That's nice. I'm loving this. Let's go ahead and run down here and give you a different angle to look at. And here again, what I wanted to do was make it where it looks like some of the grass is growing, some of the grass has died. I just got to be real careful about... Yeah, I hear you. I got to be real careful about not jumping down and breaking those blocks that have wheat growing on them, because if I do, it will make it untilled soil, and then that becomes a spawn point for bad guys. There is a zombie just sneaking around somewhere. I might have to explore and investigate that. Dig up the whole environment just to see if we can find it. But like I said, over here, I'm just working out more of the idea of like elevation, how the ground looks, and how it, just the lay of the land, basically. Not really doing anything final as far as vegetation. And I wanted to do this. I added this in. You didn't see this in the time lapse, but I thought putting stone at the bottom of the structure gives it a little more solidity. It makes it feel like it's built on top of some kind of a foundational structure that just kind of holds it up. And you can see right here and right here, we can just barely make out that there is still some structural integrity to the building existing right down there, and it goes all the way around. I tried putting stones right here, and it just kind of messed with the way this looked, so I felt like I'd put those down in the ground. I think I did that all the way around here. Just kind of, yeah. Uh-oh, there's nothing holding this structure up. We might have to swap. Oh, no, I can't. That's right. I looked behind, and you can actually see these two blocks inside the structure, so that's why. It just has one spot that eventually will rot out. We'll have to always replace those beams. So, yeah. But if you enjoyed this episode, please click that like button, and if you want to see more of these as I release them, you're not already subscribed, would you consider subscribing? Click that subscription little spot thing, and then click a notification bell next to it. And then that way YouTube can notify you whenever new videos come out, and then you won't miss them. You'll be in on the action, you'll see all the craziness, and you'll finally understand why did not Piggy not put a roof on top of that? What in the world does he think he's doing with this area? But I'm going to get myself, get my wits gathered, get myself prepped and ready for next episode, and figure out what I want to do next episode. And that's when I hope to see you, is in the next episode of AlphaCraft.